Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Flow. I'm Sarah, your English learning companion, and today we're diving into something incredibly practical and useful for your everyday conversations. We're going to explore 200 essential English phrases that you'll hear and use constantly in daily life. These aren't just random phrases. They're the building blocks of natural, confident English speaking. If you're at a B1 level, you already have a solid foundation in English grammar and vocabulary. But what you might be missing are these natural flowing phrases that native speakers use without even thinking about them. Today's lesson will bridge that gap and help you sound more natural and confident in your everyday English conversations. Before we start, I want you to know that every single phrase we'll cover today comes with clear examples and practice opportunities. You'll hear how to use them naturally, when to use them, and most importantly, you'll practice them in realistic conversations. By the end of this lesson, you'll have 80 new tools in your English toolkit that will make your conversations smoother, more natural, and more confident. Let's begin with one of the most versatile phrases you'll ever learn. How's everything? This is a wonderful way to start a conversation with someone you know. It's more personal than "How are you?" and shows that you're genuinely interested in the person's overall well-being. When you see a colleague on Monday morning, you can say, "Hi there, how's everything?" And they might respond with, "Pretty good, thanks for asking," or "Everything's going well. How about you?" It's a phrase that immediately creates a warm, friendly atmosphere. Another phrase that works beautifully in similar situations is, "What have you been up to?" This shows interest in what someone has been doing recently. It's perfect for friends you haven't seen in a while or colleagues you're catching up with. For example, you might say, "Hey John, what have you been up to lately?" And he could respond with, "Oh, just the usual work stuff, but I started a new hobby, photography." This phrase naturally opens the door to deeper conversations. When someone shares something with you, a great response is, "That's awesome." This shows enthusiasm and genuine interest. It's more energetic than just saying, "That's good," and helps keep the conversation lively. If your friend says, "I got promoted at work," you can respond with, "That's awesome. Congratulations." Your enthusiasm will make them feel great about sharing their news with you. Now let's talk about "I'm all ears." This is a fantastic phrase to use when you want to show someone that you're ready to listen carefully to what they have to say. If a friend says, "I need to tell you something," you can respond with, "Sure, I'm all ears." It's a warm, encouraging way to show that you're giving them your full attention. This phrase makes people feel valued and heard. Speaking of listening, another useful phrase is "go ahead." You use this to encourage someone to continue talking or to proceed with what they were about to do. If someone says, "Can I ask you a question?" you can say, "Of course, go ahead." It's polite and shows that you're open to whatever they want to share or ask. When you want to express that you understand something completely, you can say, "I get it." This is more casual than I understand and sounds very natural in everyday conversation. If someone explains why they're frustrated with their computer, you can say, "Oh, I get it." Technology can be really annoying sometimes. It shows empathy and understanding. A phrase that's incredibly useful for showing agreement is, "You're right." It's simple but powerful. When someone makes a good point in a discussion, saying "you're right" validates their opinion and keeps the conversation positive. For example, if someone says, "We should leave earlier to avoid traffic," you can respond with, "You're right. Let's plan to leave at 7 instead of 8. Now, let's learn fair enough. This is a great phrase to use when you accept someone's point of view, even if you might not completely agree. It shows that you're reasonable and open-minded. If someone says, "I don't want to go to the party because I'm tired," you can respond with, "Fair enough. Maybe next time." It's a mature way to handle different opinions. Another essential phrase is, "My bad." This is a casual way to admit a mistake or apologize for something small. If you accidentally take someone's coffee instead of yours, you can say, "Oh, my bad. Here's your coffee." It's friendly and shows that you're willing to take responsibility for small mistakes. When you want to suggest doing something together, you can use, "How about we?" For example, "How about we grab lunch together?" Or, "How about we finish this project first?" It's a collaborative way to make suggestions that doesn't sound pushy or demanding. It invites the other person to participate in the decision-making process. A phrase that shows you're being considerate is, "If you don't mind." You use this when making a request or suggestion that might inconvenience someone slightly. "If you don't mind, could we meet at 2 instead of 1? Or, "If you don't mind, I'll open the window. It's getting warm in here." It shows that you're aware of others' preferences and comfort. Let's practice with "That works for me." This is perfect for confirming plans or agreeing to arrangements. If someone suggests meeting at 3 p.m., you can say, "That works for me." It's clear, positive, and shows that you're flexible and easy to work with. You can also say, "That works perfectly," to show even more enthusiasm. When you want to check if someone agrees with you, you can use, "Don't you think?" at the end of your statement. "The weather is beautiful today, don't you think?" Or, "This movie is really good, don't you think?" It's a gentle way to invite someone's opinion and keep the conversation interactive. Another useful phrase for getting someone's opinion is, "What do you think?" This is more direct than "Don't you think?" and gives the person complete freedom to express their thoughts. "I'm thinking of changing my hairstyle. What do you think?" It shows that you value their opinion and want their input. When you want to express that something is obvious or logical, you can say, "Of course." If someone asks, "Should we bring an umbrella since it might rain?" you can respond with, "Of course, better safe than sorry." It confirms that their thinking is correct and logical. Here's a phrase that's very useful in many situations. "It's up to you." This gives someone else the power to make a decision. Should we watch a comedy or a drama? It's up to you. It shows that you're flexible and that you trust their judgment. It's also a great way to avoid making decisions when you don't have a strong preference. Let's talk about no big deal. This phrase minimizes the importance of something, usually to make someone feel better about a mistake or problem. If someone apologizes for being 5 minutes late, you can say, "No big deal, I just got here myself." It's reassuring and helps maintain a positive atmosphere. When you want to express that you're happy about something, you can say, "I'm glad." "I'm glad you could make it to the party," or "I'm glad the weather is nice today." It's a warm way to express positive feelings and often makes others feel good too. A phrase that shows uncertainty but willingness is, "I suppose so." It's less definitive than yes, but more agreeable than maybe. If someone asks, "Do you think we'll finish this project by Friday?" you might say, "I suppose so if we stay focused." It shows that you're considering the possibility positively. When you want to show that you're trying to remember something, you can say, "Let me see." "What time does the store close?" "Let me see. I think it's 9 p.m. It's a natural way to indicate that you're thinking or trying to recall information. Here's a phrase that's perfect for expressing surprise. "No kidding." If someone tells you something unexpected, like, "I just won a free trip to Hawaii," you can respond with, "No kidding. That's incredible." It shows genuine surprise and interest in what they're sharing. When you want to suggest that something is probably true, you can use "I bet." "I bet you're excited about your vacation," or "I bet that restaurant is expensive." It's a casual way to make assumptions or predictions based on logic or experience. Let's learn, "That's a relief." You use this when something stressful or worrying has been resolved. If someone says, "The doctor said the test results are normal," you can respond with, "That's a relief. I was worried about you." It shows empathy and shares in their positive feelings. Another great phrase is, "I'm looking forward to it." This expresses anticipation and excitement about something in the future. "We're having a barbecue this weekend." "I'm looking forward to it." It's enthusiastic and shows that you're excited about the plans. When you want to show that you're paying attention and encouraging someone to continue, you can say, "Uh-huh," or "right." These are small but important phrases that keep conversations flowing. If someone is telling you a story, occasional "uh-huh" or "right" responses show that you're listening and engaged. A phrase that's useful for expressing mild frustration is, "Oh well." If something doesn't go as planned, you can say, "Oh well, maybe next time." It shows that you're accepting the situation and not letting it ruin your mood. It's a mature way to handle disappointment. Let's talk about, "You know what I mean?" This phrase checks if the other person understands your point. "The traffic was terrible, and I was stressed about being late." You know what I mean? It creates connection and ensures that your message is being understood. When you want to express that something is completely fine, you can say, "That's perfectly fine." If someone asks to reschedule a meeting, you can respond with, "That's perfectly fine." "Tuesday works better for me anyway." It's reassuring and shows flexibility. Here's a phrase that shows you're giving someone permission or encouragement. Go for it. If someone asks, "Should I apply for that job?" you can say, "Absolutely, go for it." It's encouraging and shows that you believe in their ability to succeed. When you want to express that you're in the same situation as someone else, you can say, "Same here." If someone says, "I'm really tired today," you can respond with, "Same here." "I didn't sleep well last night." It creates connection and shows that you can relate to their experience. A useful phrase for expressing that you had a good time is, "I had a blast." After a fun evening with friends, you might say, "Thanks for inviting me. I had a blast." It's more enthusiastic than "I had a good time" and shows genuine enjoyment. Let's learn, "I'm not sure about that." This expresses doubt or disagreement in a gentle way. If someone suggests something you're not comfortable with, you can say, "I'm not sure about that. Maybe we should think of another option." It's diplomatic and doesn't shut down the conversation. When you want to show that you're considering multiple options, you can say, "I'm torn between." "I'm torn between the chocolate cake and the cheesecake." It shows that you're having difficulty choosing because both options are appealing. A phrase that's great for expressing enthusiasm is, "Count me in." If someone is organizing a group activity and asks if you want to participate, you can say, "Count me in." It's energetic and shows that you're definitely interested in joining. When you want to politely decline something, you can say, "I'll pass." If someone offers you a drink you don't want, you can say, "Thanks, but I'll pass." It's polite but clear, and it doesn't require a long explanation. Let's talk about "I see what you mean." This shows that you understand someone's perspective or point of view. After someone explains their reasoning, you can say, "I see what you mean. That makes sense." It validates their thinking and shows that you're listening carefully. When something is very easy, you can say, "It's a piece of cake." If someone asks if a task is difficult, you can respond with, "No, it's a piece of cake. I can show you how to do it." It's a colorful way to express that something is simple. A phrase that shows you're being realistic about time is, "I'm running late." If you're going to be delayed, you can call and say, "I'm running late. I'll be there in about 15 minutes. It's honest and gives people a clear expectation. When you want to express that you're confused, you can say, "I'm lost." Not physically lost, but mentally confused. Can you explain that again? "I'm lost." It's a humble way to ask for clarification without feeling embarrassed. Here's a phrase for expressing that you don't have a preference. "I don't care either way." If someone asks, "Should we eat Chinese or Italian food?" and you're happy with both, you can say, "I don't care either way. Both sound good." It shows flexibility. When you want to show that you're impressed, you can say, "Not bad." If someone shows you their artwork or tells you about an achievement, "Not bad." is a positive response that shows appreciation. It's more casual than "that's excellent," but still very positive. Let's learn "what's the deal with?" This phrase introduces a question about something confusing or problematic. "What's the deal with the new parking rules?" Or, "What's the deal with this weather?" It's a natural way to bring up topics that puzzle you. When you want to express that you're satisfied with something, you can say, "That'll do." If someone asks if the temperature in the room is comfortable, you can say, "That'll do," to show that it's acceptable. It's practical and shows that you're not overly demanding. A phrase that shows you're being honest about your limitations is, "I'm not good at." "I'm not good at dancing, but I'll try." Or, "I'm not good at math, but I'll do my best." It's humble and realistic, and it often makes people more patient and helpful. When you want to express that you're really enjoying something, you can say, "I'm having a great time." At a party or event, you might tell the host, "I'm having a great time. Thank you for inviting me." It's warm and appreciative. Here's a phrase for when you want to express that something is exactly what you needed. That hits the spot. After drinking something refreshing on a hot day, you might say, "That hits the spot." It's a colorful way to express satisfaction. When you want to show that you're willing to wait, you can say, "I'm in no rush." If someone is taking time to help you, you can say, "Take your time, I'm in no rush." It's considerate and reduces pressure on the other person. Let's talk about "I could go for." This expresses that you would enjoy something. "I could go for a coffee right now," or "I could go for a walk after dinner." It's a casual way to express desires or preferences. When you want to express that you're trying to be helpful, you can say, "I'm just trying to help." If someone seems resistant to your suggestions, you can say, "I'm just trying to help," to clarify your good intentions. A phrase that shows you're acknowledging someone's effort is "good job." When someone completes a task or achieves something, "good job" is an encouraging response that makes people feel appreciated and motivated. When you want to express that you're not worried about something, you can say, "I'm not stressed about it." If someone asks if you're nervous about an upcoming event, you can respond with, "I'm not stressed about it. I'm well prepared." It shows confidence and calm. Here's a phrase for expressing that you understand someone's situation. "I feel you." If someone is complaining about traffic or a difficult day, you can say, "I feel you. I've been there." It's empathetic and creates connection. When you want to show that you're being practical, you can say, "Let's be realistic." If someone is making unrealistic plans, you can say, "Let's be realistic about what we can accomplish today." It's a gentle way to bring conversations back to practical considerations. Let's learn, "I'm all set." This means you're ready or you have everything you need. If someone asks if you need anything before starting a task, you can say, "Thanks, I'm all set." It's clear and shows that you're prepared. When you want to express that you're not particular about something, you can say, "Whatever works." If someone is trying to coordinate plans and asks for your preference, you can say, "Whatever works for you works for me." It's flexible and accommodating. A phrase that's great for expressing that you're confident about something is, "I'm sure of it." If someone asks if you think something will happen, you can say, "I'm sure of it," to show strong confidence in your prediction. That's what I'm talking about. This expresses enthusiasm and agreement when something goes well. If your friend gets good news, you can say, "That's what I'm talking about. You deserve it." It's energetic and celebratory. One of the most useful phrases for sharing your thoughts is "I have to say." This phrase adds emphasis to your opinion and makes it sound more thoughtful. When you want to express something you've been thinking about, you can say, "I have to say, that movie was better than I expected." Or, "I have to say, you did a fantastic job on this presentation." It shows that you've given real consideration to your opinion and makes your words carry more weight. "I'd rather" is essential for expressing preferences politely. Instead of just saying, "I don't want to," you can say, "I'd rather stay in tonight," or "I'd rather have tea instead of coffee." This phrase is softer and more diplomatic than direct refusal. For example, if someone suggests going to a crowded restaurant, you might say, "I'd rather go somewhere quieter, if that's okay with you." When you want to show that you're open to different possibilities, use "Either way is fine with me." This phrase demonstrates flexibility and makes planning easier for everyone. If someone asks whether to meet at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m., you can respond with, "Either way is fine with me. I'm free both times." It shows that you're accommodating and easy to work with. "I'm leaning towards" expresses a preference that isn't completely decided yet. It's perfect when you're still considering options, but have a slight preference. "I'm leaning towards the blue shirt, but I'm not completely sure." Or, "I'm leaning towards accepting the job offer, but I want to think about it more." This phrase shows thoughtful decision-making. "That's not really my thing" is a polite way to decline something or express that you don't enjoy a particular activity. If someone invites you to go bungee jumping and you're not interested, you can say, "Thanks for the invitation, but extreme sports aren't really my thing." It's honest, but not offensive. "I'm into that" shows enthusiasm and interest in something. When someone mentions a hobby or activity you enjoy, you can say, "Oh, I'm into that too." Or photography. "I'm really into that lately." It's a casual way to express shared interests and can lead to great conversations. When you want to express strong agreement with an opinion, "absolutely" works perfectly. If someone says, "This restaurant has amazing food," you can respond with "absolutely." "The pasta here is incredible." It's more emphatic than just saying yes and shows genuine enthusiasm. "I couldn't agree more" is an even stronger way to show agreement. When someone expresses an opinion you completely share, this phrase adds real impact. The new policy will help everyone. "I couldn't agree more. It's exactly what we needed." It shows that you not only agree, but feel strongly about the topic. That's a good point. Acknowledges when someone has made a valid argument or observation. It's perfect for discussions and shows that you're listening carefully. We should consider the cost of the project. That's a good point. Let's look at the budget more carefully. It validates the other person's contribution to the conversation. I see where you're coming from shows that you understand someone's perspective, even if you might not completely agree. It's diplomatic and thoughtful. I understand you want to finish quickly, but I think we should be more careful. I see where you're coming from, but quality is important too. This phrase helps maintain positive relationships during disagreements. Let me think about that is perfect when you need time to consider something before responding. Instead of feeling pressured to answer immediately, you can say, "That's an interesting offer. Let me think about that and get back to you." It shows that you take decisions seriously and gives you space to make thoughtful choices. When you want to change the subject smoothly, speaking of which, creates a natural transition. If you're talking about restaurants and remember something related, you can say, "Speaking of which, did you hear about that new Italian place downtown?" It connects topics naturally and keeps conversations flowing. That reminds me is another excellent phrase for transitioning to related topics. The weather has been so nice lately. That reminds me, we should plan that picnic we talked about. It shows that you're actively listening and making connections in the conversation. By the way, introduces additional information or changes topics casually. The meeting went well today. By the way, did you finish the report? It's versatile and can be used to add information or smoothly shift to new topics without seeming abrupt. When you want to return to a previous topic, getting back to what we were saying works perfectly. If your conversation got sidetracked, you can say, "Getting back to what we were saying about vacation plans, where did you want to go?" It helps maintain focus and shows good conversation management skills. Let me get this straight. Is useful when you want to clarify or confirm your understanding of something complex. So let me get this straight. You want to leave at 6, pick up Sarah, and then go to the concert. It prevents misunderstandings and shows that you're paying attention to details. What I mean is, helps you clarify when you feel your first explanation wasn't clear enough. The project is challenging. What I mean is, it's difficult but definitely doable with the right approach. This phrase gives you a second chance to express your thoughts more clearly. In other words, serves a similar purpose, allowing you to rephrase something for better understanding. The system needs an upgrade. In other words, our current software is too slow for what we need to do. It's particularly useful in professional conversations or when explaining complex topics. Here's the thing. Introduces an important point or the main issue you want to discuss. I'd love to help with the project. Here's the thing. I'm already committed to 2 other deadlines this week. It signals that you're about to share something significant or explain a key point. The bottom line is, cut straight to the most important point or conclusion. We've discussed many options for the budget. The bottom line is, We need to reduce expenses by 20%. It's perfect for summarizing discussions or focusing on essential information, especially in professional settings. Tell me more about that shows genuine interest in what someone is sharing and encourages them to elaborate. When someone mentions something intriguing, like, "I just started learning guitar," you can respond with, "That's cool. Tell me more about that." It keeps conversations going and makes people feel heard and valued. "How interesting" expresses fascination with what someone has shared. It's more enthusiastic than just saying interesting and shows that you're genuinely engaged. If someone tells you about their unusual hobby, you can say, "How interesting. I've never heard of that before." It encourages people to share more details. "I had no idea" shows surprise and indicates that you've learned something new. When someone shares unexpected information, you can respond with, "I had no idea you spoke 3 languages." Or, "I had no idea that restaurant was so old." It makes the other person feel knowledgeable and appreciated. "That sounds amazing," expresses enthusiasm about someone's experiences or plans. If a friend describes their weekend trip, you can say, "That sounds amazing. I'd love to visit there someday." It's positive and shows that you're genuinely interested in their experiences. "I'm curious about" introduces questions when you want to learn more about something specific. "I'm curious about how you got interested in photography." Or, "I'm curious about what made you choose that career." It's a polite way to ask for more details without seeming nosy. "What's it like?" asks for someone's personal experience or opinion about something. If someone mentions they just moved to a new city, you can ask, "What's it like living there?" It invites them to share their perspective and feelings about their experiences. "How did that work out?" asks about the result or outcome of something someone mentioned earlier. If someone told you they were trying a new approach at work, you can follow up with, "How did that work out?" It shows you remember previous conversations and care about the outcomes. "I'd love to hear about" expresses genuine interest in learning more about someone's experiences. "I'd love to hear about your trip to Japan," or "I'd love to hear about your new job." It's warmer than just asking questions and makes people feel valued. "That must have been," followed by an emotion, helps you empathize with someone's experience. "You had to work all weekend?" "That must have been exhausting." Or, "You won the competition?" "That must have been exciting." It shows emotional intelligence and connection. "I can only imagine" expresses empathy when someone describes a situation you haven't experienced yourself. If someone talks about moving to a new country, you might say, "I can only imagine how challenging that must have been." It acknowledges their experience while being honest about your own limitations. "I'm not entirely sure" expresses uncertainty in a thoughtful way. It's more sophisticated than just saying, "I don't know," and shows that you've considered the question. "I'm not entirely sure what time the store closes, but I think it's around 9 p.m. It demonstrates careful thinking while admitting limitations. "It's hard to say" indicates that something is difficult to determine or predict. When someone asks for your opinion on a complex situation, you can respond with, "It's hard to say without knowing more details." It shows that you recognize the complexity of the situation. "I'm torn" expresses difficulty in making a choice between options. "I'm torn between staying at my current job and taking the new opportunity." It's more emotional than just saying you can't decide and helps others understand your internal conflict. On one hand, on the other hand, helps you present different sides of a decision or situation. On one hand, the apartment is perfect for my budget. On the other hand, it's quite far from work. This structure helps organize your thoughts and shows balanced thinking. "It depends" indicates that your answer varies based on circumstances. When someone asks if you like a particular activity, you might say, "It depends on the weather," or "It depends on who I'm with." It shows that you consider context in your decisions. "I'm weighing my options" means you're carefully considering different choices. "I haven't decided about the job offer yet. I'm still weighing my options." It shows that you're being thoughtful and thorough in your decision-making process. "Let me sleep on it" means you want to think about something overnight before deciding. "That's a big decision. Let me sleep on it and I'll give you an answer tomorrow." It's a natural way to ask for time to consider important choices. "I'm keeping my options open" means you don't want to commit to one choice yet. "I might study abroad next year, but I'm keeping my options open." It shows flexibility and suggests you're waiting for more information before deciding. "Time will tell" indicates that the outcome will become clear in the future. When someone asks about the success of a new project, you might say, "It looks promising, but time will tell." It acknowledges uncertainty about future outcomes. "We'll cross that bridge when we come to it" means you'll deal with a potential problem if and when it actually happens. "What if it rains during the picnic?" "We'll cross that bridge when we come to it." It shows practical thinking and avoids worrying about problems that might never occur. "I'm thrilled" expresses extreme happiness or excitement about something. It's stronger than "I'm happy" and shows genuine enthusiasm. "I'm thrilled that you got the promotion," or "I'm thrilled about the vacation plans." It conveys deep positive emotions and makes your excitement clear. "I'm a bit worried" expresses concern in a gentle way. Instead of saying "I'm scared" or being dramatic, you can say, "I'm a bit worried about the weather for tomorrow's event." It communicates concern while remaining calm and measured. "I'm disappointed" directly expresses your feelings when something doesn't meet your expectations. "I'm disappointed that the concert was canceled, but I understand why." It's honest about negative emotions while remaining mature and reasonable. "I'm relieved" shows that stress or worry has been removed. "I'm relieved that the test results came back normal," or "I'm relieved that we finished the project on time." It often follows periods of uncertainty or concern. "I'm frustrated" expresses annoyance or impatience with a situation. "I'm frustrated with this computer. It keeps crashing." It's more specific than just saying you're angry and helps others understand your emotional state. I'm overwhelmed indicates that you're feeling like there's too much to handle. I'm a bit overwhelmed with all these projects at work. It's honest about your emotional state and often leads to helpful support from others. I'm content expresses quiet satisfaction with your current situation. I'm content with my life right now. Or, I'm content with how the project turned out. It's peaceful and shows a positive but calm emotional state. I'm grateful for expresses appreciation and thankfulness. I'm grateful for all your help with the move, or I'm grateful for having such good friends. It's warmer than just saying thank you and shows deeper appreciation. I'm proud of expresses admiration and satisfaction with someone's or your own achievements. I'm proud of how hard you worked on this. Or, I'm proud of finishing my degree. It celebrates accomplishments and shows support. I'm concerned about expresses worry in a caring way. I'm concerned about your health. You've been working too much lately. It shows that your worry comes from caring about someone and often leads to helpful conversations. I appreciate your time shows respect for someone's schedule and effort. It's perfect for professional settings or when someone has helped you. Thank you for meeting with me today. I really appreciate your time. It demonstrates professionalism and courtesy. I'll get back to you on that. Promises future communication about a topic. When you need time to research or consider something, you can say, "That's a good question. I'll get back to you on that by tomorrow." It shows responsibility and follow-through. "Let me double-check that." Indicates you want to verify information before confirming. You need the report by Friday. Let me double-check that deadline with my manager. It shows attention to accuracy and prevents misunderstandings. I'll look into it. Promises investigation or research on a topic. When someone brings up an issue or question, you can respond with, "I'll look into it and see what options we have." It shows initiative and problem-solving attitude. That makes sense, acknowledges logical reasoning or good explanations. When someone explains their decision or reasoning, responding with, "That makes sense," validates their thinking and shows you understand their logic. "I see your point," recognizes the validity of someone's argument or perspective. During discussions or disagreements, saying, "I see your point, but I think we should also consider," shows respect while adding your own thoughts. "Let's touch base," suggests future communication or meetings. This project is complex. Let's touch base next week to see how things are progressing. It's professional and shows ongoing commitment to communication. I wanted to follow up on introduces continuation of previous discussions. I wanted to follow up on our conversation about the marketing strategy. It shows professionalism and ensures important topics aren't forgotten. Could you clarify? Politely asks for clearer explanation. Could you clarify what you mean by urgent deadline? It's diplomatic and shows you want to understand completely before proceeding. I'd like to propose introduces suggestions in formal situations. I'd like to propose that we meet weekly instead of monthly. It's professional and shows initiative in problem solving or improvement. It's good to see you expresses genuine happiness at meeting someone. It's warmer than just hello and works well with people you know but don't see regularly. Hi, Sarah. It's good to see you. How have you been? It immediately creates a positive, friendly atmosphere. Long time no see is perfect for greeting people you haven't seen in a while. It's casual and friendly, showing that you've noticed their absence. John. Long time no see. What brings you to this part of town? It often leads to catch-up conversations about what's been happening. I've been meaning to call you. Expresses that you've been thinking about contacting someone. I've been meaning to call you about getting together for lunch. It shows that the person has been on your mind and suggests genuine care for the relationship. The phrase, "we should catch up soon," suggests meeting to talk and update each other on your lives. It was great running into you. We should catch up soon over coffee. It's a natural way to suggest future social contact without being too specific about timing. I'm really happy for you expresses genuine joy about someone else's good news or success. When someone shares positive news, this phrase shows sincere support. You got engaged? I'm really happy for you. It strengthens relationships and shows emotional generosity. I hope everything works out, expresses good wishes when someone is facing challenges or uncertainties. I heard about your job situation. I hope everything works out well for you. It shows support without being intrusive. Feel free to gives permission or invitation in a welcoming way. Feel free to call me if you need any help with the move, or feel free to use my parking spot while I'm away. It's generous and shows you're happy to help. Don't be a stranger encourages someone to stay in touch or visit more often. It's typically used when saying goodbye to someone you'd like to see more frequently. It was great having you over for dinner. Don't be a stranger. It warmly expresses desire for continued contact. Take care of yourself. Expresses concern for someone's well-being, especially when parting. I have to go now. Take care of yourself, and let's talk soon. It shows genuine care and is warmer than just goodbye. Give my regards to asks someone to pass along your greetings to mutual friends or family. When you see your sister, please give my regards to her, or give my regards to your family. It's polite and shows you remember and care about people in their life. You've got this offers strong encouragement when someone is facing a challenge. It expresses confidence in their abilities. I know the presentation is stressful, but you've got this. You're well prepared. It's casual but powerful support that can boost someone's confidence significantly. Don't give up encourages persistence when someone is struggling or discouraged. I know learning guitar is difficult, but don't give up. It takes time to develop any skill. It shows belief in their ability to overcome current difficulties and achieve their goals. "You're doing great" provides positive feedback and encouragement about someone's progress or performance. "I can see how much your English has improved. You're doing great." It acknowledges effort and progress, which motivates continued improvement. "Keep it up" encourages someone to continue their current positive efforts or behavior. "Your hard work on this project is really showing. Keep it up." It recognizes good work and motivates continued excellence. "I believe in you" expresses strong confidence in someone's abilities and potential. When someone doubts themselves, saying "I believe in you" can be incredibly powerful. "I know you're nervous about the job interview, but I believe in you. You're perfect for this position." "You'll figure it out" expresses confidence that someone will solve their current problem or challenge. "The math homework is confusing now, but you'll figure it out. You're smart and persistent." It acknowledges current difficulty while expressing faith in their problem-solving abilities. "Everything happens for a reason" offers comfort during difficult times by suggesting that challenges serve a purpose. "I know losing that job was disappointing, but everything happens for a reason. Maybe something better is coming." It provides philosophical comfort during setbacks. "This too shall pass" reminds someone that difficult situations are temporary. "I know you're going through a tough time right now, but remember, this too shall pass." It offers perspective and hope during challenging periods. "You're stronger than you think" reminds someone of their inner resilience and capability. "I know this divorce is incredibly difficult, but you're stronger than you think. You'll get through this." It helps people recognize their own strength during vulnerable moments. "I'm here for you" offers support and availability during someone's difficult time. "If you need to talk about what happened, I'm here for you." It's simple but profound, showing that they're not alone and have someone who cares about their well-being. "Let me see what I can do" shows willingness to help while being realistic about your limitations. When someone asks for assistance with something challenging, you can say, "That's a difficult situation. Let me see what I can do to help." It demonstrates good intentions without making promises you might not be able to keep. "I'll give it a shot" means you're willing to try something, even if you're not certain about success. "I've never used that software before, but I'll give it a shot." It shows positive attitude and willingness to attempt new challenges, which people appreciate in both personal and professional settings. "It's worth a try" suggests that attempting something is reasonable, even if success isn't guaranteed. When someone is hesitant about a new approach, you can encourage them by saying, "It might not work, but it's worth a try." It helps people overcome hesitation and take positive action. "That's the plan" confirms intentions or arrangements that have been discussed. If someone asks, "So we're meeting at the coffee shop at 2 p.m?" you can respond with, "That's the plan." It's more engaging than just saying yes and shows enthusiasm about the arrangements. "I'm working on it" indicates that you're actively addressing a task or problem. When someone asks about the progress of something you're responsible for, saying "I'm working on it" shows that you're engaged and making effort, even if it's not complete yet. Let's figure this out invites collaborative problem solving. When facing a challenge with others, saying, "This is complicated, but let's figure this out together," creates a team approach and shows confidence that solutions can be found through cooperation. "I'll handle it" expresses that you're taking responsibility for a task or problem. "Don't worry about the scheduling conflict. I'll handle it." It shows reliability and leadership, taking pressure off others while demonstrating your capability. What's the next step? Moves conversations and planning forward by focusing on action. After discussing a problem or opportunity, asking, "What's the next step?" shows practical thinking and helps maintain momentum in decision-making processes. "I need to wrap this up" politely indicates that you need to finish or conclude something. "I need to wrap this up by 5 p.m. so I can leave on time." It's professional and clear about your time constraints without being rude. "Let's call it a day" suggests stopping work or activity for the day. "We've made good progress on the project. Let's call it a day and continue tomorrow." It's a natural way to conclude activities while acknowledging accomplishments. "I'm in the mood for" expresses current desires or preferences, especially for food, activities, or entertainment. "I'm in the mood for something spicy tonight," or "I'm in the mood for a quiet evening at home." It's more specific than general preferences and reflects your current feelings. "How does that sound?" Asks for someone's opinion about a suggestion you've made. "We could start with dinner and then see a movie. How does that sound?" It invites feedback and shows that you value the other person's input in planning. "Would you be up for" politely suggests activities or asks about someone's interest in participating. "Would you be up for a hike this weekend?" It's casual and non-pressuring, giving people easy opportunity to decline if they're not interested. "I was thinking we could" introduces suggestions in a gentle, collaborative way. "I was thinking we could try that new restaurant downtown." It presents ideas as thoughts rather than demands, making discussions more comfortable and democratic. "What would you say to" proposes ideas while asking for opinions. "What would you say to leaving an hour earlier to avoid traffic?" It combines suggestion with genuine interest in the other person's thoughts and feelings about the proposal. "I'm open to suggestions" shows flexibility and willingness to consider other people's ideas. "I don't have strong preferences for the vacation destination. I'm open to suggestions." It encourages input and makes group decision-making more inclusive and collaborative. "That could work" expresses cautious agreement with a suggestion. It's less definitive than yes, but more positive than maybe. "Meeting at 3 p.m. instead of 2 p.m. That could work. Let me check my schedule." It shows consideration while maintaining some flexibility. "I'm fine with either" indicates that you don't have a strong preference between options. "Do you want to walk or take the bus?" "I'm fine with either." It shows flexibility and makes decision-making easier for others when you genuinely don't mind the choice. Let's play it by ear suggests making decisions as situations develop rather than planning everything in advance. The weather forecast is uncertain. Let's play it by ear and decide about the picnic tomorrow morning. It shows adaptability and comfort with spontaneity. Why don't we? Introduces suggestions in a collaborative way. Why don't we split the cost of the gift? Or, why don't we meet halfway between our locations? It frames suggestions as joint ideas rather than one person telling another what to do. I think there's been a misunderstanding addresses confusion or miscommunication diplomatically. I think there's been a misunderstanding about the meeting time. I thought we said 3 p.m., not 2 p.m. It focuses on the communication issue rather than blaming anyone for mistakes. Let me clarify introduces explanations when you realize your previous communication wasn't clear. Let me clarify what I meant about the deadline. We need the first draft by Friday, but the final version isn't due until next week. It shows responsibility for clear communication. I'm not following you politely indicates that you don't understand someone's explanation or reasoning. I'm not following you. Could you explain that part about the budget again? It's more polite than saying, I don't understand, and often gets better explanations. Could you run that by me again? Ask someone to repeat or re-explain something. There was a lot of information in that presentation. Could you run the main points by me again? It's casual and shows you want to understand properly. I must have misunderstood takes responsibility for confusion while asking for clarification. I must have misunderstood. I thought the event was on Saturday, not Sunday. It's humble and helps resolve confusion without creating defensiveness. What do you mean by asks for specific clarification about particular words or concepts? What do you mean by flexible schedule? Does that include working weekends? It helps prevent future misunderstandings by clarifying specific terms. Just to be clear, introduces confirmation or clarification to prevent misunderstandings. Just to be clear, you need this completed by end of business today, correct? It shows attention to detail and prevents problems caused by unclear communication. I want to make sure I understand shows careful attention to communication and desire for accuracy. I want to make sure I understand the new policy. Are we allowed to work from home 2 days per week? It demonstrates responsibility and thoroughness. Did I get that right? Asks for confirmation after summarizing or repeating information. So the plan is to meet at the restaurant at 7, then go to the concert at 8. Did I get that right? It prevents misunderstandings through active confirmation. I may have confused you takes responsibility when you realize your communication might have been unclear. I may have confused you with my explanation. Let me try explaining it differently. It shows AW. Would you mind if makes polite requests that might inconvenience someone slightly? Would you mind if I opened the window? It's getting warm in here. This phrase shows consideration for others and gives them comfortable opportunity to decline if necessary. I hate to bother you, but introduces request while acknowledging that you're asking for someone's time or help. I hate to bother you, but could you help me move this table? It shows awareness that you're asking for assistance and appreciation for their potential help. When you get a chance, makes requests without creating time pressure. When you get a chance, could you look at this document? It's respectful of people's schedules and shows that your request isn't urgent or demanding immediate attention. I don't want to impose, but introduces requests while showing awareness that you might be asking for significant help. I don't want to impose, but would you be able to give me a ride to the airport? It demonstrates consideration and makes it easier for people to decline comfortably. If it's not too much trouble, adds politeness to requests by acknowledging the effort involved. If it's not too much trouble, could you send me that report by email? It shows appreciation for the effort required and respect for the person's time. I'd appreciate it if makes requests while expressing gratitude in advance. I'd appreciate it if you could keep this information confidential. It combines the request with acknowledgement of the favor being asked and shows respect for the person's cooperation. Could you possibly adds extra politeness to requests, especially for things that might be difficult or inconvenient. Could you possibly stay a few minutes late to finish this project? It acknowledges that you're asking for something beyond normal expectations. Would it be possible to makes formal, polite requests, especially in professional situations? Would it be possible to reschedule our meeting to next week? It's respectful and gives people room to decline without feeling awkward. I wonder if you could introduces requests in a gentle, non-demanding way. I wonder if you could recommend a good restaurant in the area. It's conversational and makes requests feel more like friendly inquiries than demands for help. If you don't mind me asking, introduces personal or potentially sensitive questions politely. If you don't mind me asking, how did you learn to speak English so well? It shows respect for privacy while expressing genuine curiosity about topics that matter to people. You now possess 200 essential conversational phrases that will transform your English communication. These expressions cover every aspect of daily interaction, from basic greetings and opinions to complex problem-solving and professional communication. This comprehensive collection represents the core of natural, fluent English conversation. Your complete arsenal. Basic conversation management and social interaction. Professional communication and workplace dynamics. Emotional expression and empathy. Problem-solving and decision-making language. Polite requests and social courtesy, opinion sharing and preference expression, encouragement and support for relationship building. Mastery strategy. Focus on incorporating 10 to 15 new phrases each week into your daily conversations. Practice them in different contexts and with various emotions until they become natural parts of your speaking patterns. Remember, fluency comes not from knowing many phrases, but from using them naturally and appropriately in real situations. Your journey to conversational mastery is now equipped with these 200 powerful tools. Use them confidently, practice regularly, and watch as your English conversations become more natural, engaging, and effective.